Welcome to my podcast, His Man Cave, episode 18. I'm Glenn
1-8.
Stewart.
Your podcast can vote and buy guns now.
Yeah, it can.
And we got today with us, we got David Allen.
There he is.
The lovable.
The legend. The myth.
Back on the podcast.
Oh, great. Now the dogs want to be a part of the podcast.
Hey, man, Pete just wanted to say what's up.
Yeah, it's a dog cast. You know?
Bow, wow, wow. Yippee,
I'm not going to lie to you. He saw this mattress. He's like, what kind of podcast are you and Johnny filming now?
Fuck back here.
You might not know this, David, but me and Johnny are quite a catch on the fetish circuit.
Ah. Two bears wrestling.
That porkcast is called Sweet Chives and Chipotle.
Not much talking on it. A lot of gagging.
A lot of gagging.
A lot of gagging.
Oh, God. Ugh.
I feel like you would come chili on that podcast. Just not even come chili that comes
That's
out.
just diarrhea. That's all.
All right, that's been all for my podcast.
That's it for episode 18.
Episode 18, chili diarrhea.
We're out.
Forever.
Jesus Christ, fellas.
That would be
Fellas,
the
y'all, you know what? I was talking about ranting earlier. I think I'm just going to go. I'm going to let y'all finish this one out. I don't even have to move the camera.
Just the chili cum rant.
I've decided I want to produce and just sit
Oh, is that
over
a
there
bean?
and not
It's
listen.
stuck.
Oh, my God.
A bean would hurt worse than kidney stones. Am I right?
Yeah. Kidney beans, how do you think they got their name? Because you had to pee them out in the old days.
Oh, Lord.
Now they harvest them from old men.
Yep. Blast them out with a laser.
Yep.
I've seen the procedure online.
I
watch weird shit.
I used to install cable, and I was on the side of the road. God, I had to piss so bad. And midstream, it just fucking, the ship shuts down, and all of a sudden I see speckles and just pass out on the side of the fucking road. Wake up and just blood on the front of my pants. I passed it, though. But
you passed
I passed
a kidney stone and passed out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, man, why did my... And that was it. It was like
wow.
my body's
Ouch.
like, you don't need to be awake for this. But imagine me waking up on the side of the road with a bloody crotch. Like,
Yeah. Like, that's some urban legend shit, like, you know?
I wonder when it came out, did it go pew ting?
I remember...
Like old school cartoon bullets.
I don't know how badass your dad is, but mine's pretty badass.
Mine's a hippie.
My dad,
Peace and
he was
love,
in the
man.
hospital, and he had kidney stones, and they said, you know, if you pass that kidney stone, we'll let you out. And he's like, really? He looks at my uncle. He said, go get my race car. Uncle Kenny shows up with the truck and trailer, and Dad's just in the bathroom. And then you hear him go, I think it tanked. Let me out of this motherfucker.
Jesus.
Oh, he comes out of there, and I mean, he looked like he just gave birth. Just this horrible sweat about him. He's sweating through the gown, and he's just like...
Heart rate's 200.
He did this. He's like, I did it. I'm the king. I'm the man. Let me sign these discharge papers. And they're like, it'll be 15 minutes. He's like, that wasn't part of the deal. I'm leaving.
You can catch me in my race car, hand me the papers through the window.
I'll come back and sign.
Oh, man. God, it's been a...
I've never had a kidney stone.
Oh.
Thank God.
Well,
I drink a lot of soda, too. I'm surprised I hadn't.
Yeah.
Surprised I hadn't had one. So, but yeah, knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's up, fellas? How's it going?
It's going good on my end. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've got some good positive things coming in my life, and so looking forward to 2020. Like I said, got a new girl that I'm seeing, and that's going really well. And
Fuck yeah.
got a new house I'm about to move into here
Fuck
in this
yeah.
month, and working on some new jokes and some new shows that I'm gonna do. Trying to do some stuff in 2020.
You been doing the open mic still?
Yeah, I've been I go to open mics and I'm trying to work on new jokes, and I've been trying to work on one about I've been trying to work on 2 new jokes right now, and so I'm going there trying to find them, flush them out.
Right.
Because right now I'm working on a joke about how so many brilliant men died childless and alone. Like, what's the common denominator here? Are just all women selfish and not willing to, have a load blasted in them to get a Sir Isaac Newton Jr.?
You know who wasn't? Because when you were telling me about that earlier, there's a beautiful book. It's called American Sideshow. And it basically goes into this chronological history of sideshow folks.
Yeah.
And there was this one lady, she had 2 sets of legs and 2 sets of genitalia, and she had 5 kids.
Excuse me?
Like, hold on, did both of them work and give birth to children?
Yes.
So, like, what was the ratio? Was it like 3 and 1 and 2
2 to 3.
2 to 3?
Now, she had like a little legs on top of big legs.
Okay.
Which I think is a little weird that her husband was into that, but at the same, you know, like...
But at the same time, like, every single time's a threesome. Like, because
Man,
think about...
half glass fucking empty, man.
I mean, because think about it. Like, the whole time you're like, you know what? I want my dick to feel bigger. I'm going to fuck tiny legs tonight. Like, and then, like, I kind of want it to feel regular.
Show
Like,
me that baby pussy, man.
Oh, my God. No.
and then, like, I'll fuck regular legs tonight. Like, I'll mix it up. Like, I'll start in regular legs and finish in baby legs.
Finishing baby legs.
Well, I mean, there was another guy that had another, like, parasitic twin off the side, and it would just wet when he got nervous.
It would do what?
It would piss just all over the fucking... He'd be like, oh, God, I'm nervous, and some bitch would just start water hosing everybody. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful book.
I sometimes
Y'all should read it.
I sometimes wonder about
I'm
like
good.
Siamese twins and stuff, like when they're getting freaky. You know, like, because, like, obviously, let's say for scenario's sake, like, you fall in love with, like, one of a Siamese twin. You're just going to want to be physical with that Siamese twin.
Well, they had the famous ones, the true Siamese twin brothers, and they each had individual wives and stuff like that, and they would stay at
No fucking way. There's no fucking way.
So right, I'm not saying they didn't do anything, but what I'm saying is,
shit.
like they'd say, if me and David were connected, we'd stay at David's house for this amount of days, and we'd stay at this house.
There's nobody on this planet that's going to put up with a Siamese motherfucking twin.
No, they did. They had long-lasting marriages.
And that shit was all fake. There's no fucking way.
There's not enough money in it for it to have been fake.
There's no
it's not like
they
were
made a
cash-
shitload of money being
Guaranteed.
Siamese twins.
Guaranteed. No, I'm not talking about the twins being fake. I'm talking about the marriages being fake and these, oh, I love him. I fell in love with him. You do what? And because, I mean, how? Come on. That's all I'm going to say is come on.
Look, I watched a wonderful movie where Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear were connected. And they both found love. They both. The fact, you know what?
Common denominator.
That
fake.
needs to be a fucking tag on this, because I guarantee you, Greg Kinnear hasn't been tagged in anything in years. By the way, Johnny, I do have a shout out for you. Your thumbs up shirt has showed up more to this show than you have to the gym.
Absolutely.
I'll give you a thumbs up for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Not all of us can be me, I know.
yeah, no, not all of us are glamorous.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I look pretty damn good in a fucking dress.
Yeah, I know you do,
I
and
don't-
it's disturbing.
You're the only person that keeps bringing up you in dresses.
I got to go for my strong suit.
Yeah.
You know, I had my like a friend of mine like fully did up like my makeup, like like full eyeliner and like the whole shebang. Like basically like if I was gonna be in an emo pop runk band, like she did my makeup
What is
like
a
that.
runk band?
A runk band is reggae punk.
Oh,
Runk.
that's gross. You were saying?
Yeah, and not gonna lie, looked good.
Did you shave your face and everything? Like clean shave?
I was trimmed down to the bone, so there was still like a little stubble, but
Yeah.
not a lot.
Gotcha.
You can put makeup over that.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
If you know what
I've
you're
never
doing.
put makeup on, so I've never had to.
We can tell. Well, I mean, there's a few cracks that could be fixed with a little plaster of Paris here, and
Well, the thing is, like,
Spackle there.
like I said, makeup is basically just like treating your face like a canvas. Like you can put anything you want on
I
it.
tell you, I'm gonna do a makeover for you. I'm gonna close your eyes. I'm just covering your face with concrete. Now look, it's gonna feel like you
It's
can't
gonna take
breathe.
a while. It's gonna burn like a
I'm doing-
motherfucker.
But I'm doing nature. I'm doing nature a solid right
First thing
now.
I would do when it hardened is headbutt you in the face.
You'd have to find me first. I'm not a fool.
Trust me, I can smell you. And you tell
Through
everybody-
concrete,
you-
apparently.
You tell everybody where you are at 4:00 in the morning. Oh, I'm at the fucking gym. All I gotta do is go there and find the one dude.
You look.
breathing
I
hard and
can
sweating his
attest to
tits
the
off,
fact that
wearing a
until
bra.
you signed up for the gym, I don't have to worry about you showing up to shit if it involves
No,
the
man,
gym.
Not until I gotta
No,
go
you're
up there
not
and
gonna
sign
want
to cancel it.
You're
It's
not.
like, you're good. You're good for a
You're
few
not.
more
Yeah,
months.
like if I walk in there, I'm like, oh, Johnny's done with this gym shit. He's paid for it for 6 months.
Is it a year contract? or 6 months?
I think it just keeps going until you
I don't
decide to quit paying.
I don't
The good news, they have like perks and shit for traveling. Like, I mean, it's knocking some off of my cruise and everything.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Man, they'll do anything to get fucking people to not go to the gym.
I go and I love it. It's really good. It's been really good for my mental health.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually about to start a workout regimen.
Yeah, I've been inviting you.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I want somebody else that sees the world through rose-colored comedy eyes to see this fucking train wreck of people. Because my favorite thing about the gym is the noises people make, and they're involuntary noises, like when you're on a sit-up machine.
Yeah, and you know that these are the same noises these people are making while they're fucking.
Oh, yeah, like, they can't help it. Like, this guy poor
Because, like,
bastard.
it's a moment of stress and strain, and, like, you're using your muscles at their maximum. It's like you're going to make the noises of just, like,
Is that what you sound like at the gym?
No, that's what I
Do
sound
you-
like having sex.
Do you make noises at the gym?
No.
No. Dead silent.
No, the only noise is I breathe. And I, but not like loud. I'm just like, making sure that but I try not to grunt or anything. The only noises you'll ever hear me out of the gym are fucking disgust. That is a noise I have no control over. And like, there's a guy that looks like every 80s, like National Lampoon's dad, that comes in there in these cotton shorts and this ill-fitting tank top. And like, he's working every day he's in there. But there's just no progress. But he walks around like he's God's gift to pussy. And it's just like me sitting in there, and I'm like, just every time I see him and he takes a sip out of his drink, I'm like, whoa, stud, save some of the pussy for the rest of us, because he thinks that he's just looking just Top Gun over there. And
I will say this:
Call me Maverick.
I make two noises at the gym when I'm either on an elliptical bike or running. When I'm doing cardio, I make a lot of
this.
and then like I'll make a very similar noise whenever I'm on like a weight machine where I do a.
Now there's also
I have
this,
no idea if I make any noise at the gym.
There's
Never
also
been.
there's also the sound of the liquor bottle opening, because I don't know what you use as a pre-workout, but David's like, oh man, you know what goes great with sweating and hot? Tequila.
Yeah, because like again, it's the same pre-sex and pre-workout. Like
Pre-show, it's your thing.
Pre-show.
yeah, pre-show, pre-cum, pre-workout, whatever it takes.
One
Whatever it
night, David was he showed up to a show and was like, he's like, look, he said, Glenn, you've always been a good friend to me. I'm gonna buy your drinks tonight. I'm like, awesome. So I'm like, I'll drink what he's drinking. Oh man. And like 6 in, I'm just sitting there like, man, this is going to be it's going to be a fucked up occasion, because apparently my liver is not as tested and true as his anymore. Like, because but at the same time, there's been several nights where I don't know how we made it from Lafayette here, because I used to be the guy that once David tapped out, because he'll be like, nope, can't do anymore. And then they're like, we still want to party with these guys. And then I was like a fucking just a garbage can. I got you. And then he'd be like, Glenn, are you good to drive? Yep, just got to get this Waffle House. And I'm going to ugly eat some pancakes for a minute.
Yeah.
They don't sell pancakes at Waffle House.
No, you just drenched it in enough syrup. Like oh man, like you lick syrup off a fucking stripper's titty. Just bad nights. Bad nights.
Oh, man. Good times, though.
Good times.
Good times.
Those adventure times. I mean, David watched me. I passed out at a strip club because these pilots wanted to hang out with us. And this girl had like, 9 walk with Jesuses in a row. And so they come in.
But there were shots in between those,
yeah,
too.
there was. But my thing is like they give us this stack of $1 bills. And me and David are fucking comedians, so we're pocketing this shit. We're fucking, you just gave me
Listen,
$250 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a stripper $25.
Yeah, it's like I admire strippers like you are performing, but I mean, you're only doing it 3 minutes at a time. I have to do fucking 30 to 45.
David Allen sees me and I do this look. So they give us $250. I put $225 in my pocket. I pull out $25. David looks at me and he goes, what are you doing? I said, look, if 10% is good enough for Jesus, it's going to be good enough for these strippers. So anyway, I don't make it to the 25. I pass, clear the fuck out, while this girl is giving me a lap dance. The only thing that woke me up was this cold sensation on the back of my neck that said he's about to fucking throw up. So I shoot up out of the chair, launch this stripper into the fucking stage. David is just sitting there like he watched, puppies get hit by a train. He's like, but his face isn't showing that. His face is like, oh, so this is what we're doing,
Oh, so we're about to leave. All right.
And then
we're getting out of here?
And I said, oh my God, I got to throw up. And she's like, I was doing the best I can. And I'm like, it's not you. It was Jesus. And ran to the fucking bathroom. And then David walks in there, and I don't know what I drank, but I was puking up black sludge, like Constantine, like Keanu Reeves getting
like he was exercising a demon.
It was bad. Good times. Oh, man.
And then he, after he went back out, like a true champion, and just fell asleep in the chair with money on his chest.
Yeah.
And, nobody touched the
It
money.
was your birthday?
Yeah.
But, nobody touched the money. They were all very respectful of, that's his money on his chest. He's falling asleep. We're going to leave him be there.
It's a trap.
He's going to bite one of us.
That is the human version of a bear trap. Oh,
I
man.
bet you were trying to catch a bear, weren't you?
I've caught a few. I actually, one night got kicked out of a gay bar.
Yeah.
And it was my
Too
first...
handsy?
No, it was the first time I'd ever been to a gay bar, and it was this place called the Corner Lounge, I think. Shout out to them. And so we're sitting there, and I've never been there, and I drink Budweiser at the time. And I walk in there, and I'm like, I want some Bud Heavies, And they're having a bunch of Cher singing and stuff like that, and it's all going good. And about 25 beers into it, these guys would walk up, and they'd look me up and down, and then they'd turn around. 25 beers in, I'm moderately offended.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you just hear me yell out real loud. I say, what's the matter? Because I won't put your diddle in my mouth? You don't think I'm pretty? And they kicked me out.
But I'm telling
Just for that, huh?
Well, like I said, gay guys have the best gaydar, so they can look at you and tell you're straight. Like every single one of my straight friends that is worried about going to a gay bar is like, oh man, what if they don't? Be like, dude, they could tell you were straight before you even walk through the fucking door. If they do go up and talk to you, it's because there's some secret stuff inside of you that you're not ready to deal with yet.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Gay dudes know who's gonna be down for what they're selling.
Yeah, but there are those gay dudes that they want to try to turn straight dudes. That's their mission. There are those guys.
They still know what straight dudes they can talk to and turn.
I can respect that, but I also do think that they approach everybody so they can figure out which dude they're talking to.
No, it's the same way. Guys, straight guys, if you're at a bar and let's say there's 20 women there.
Right.
You can look at those 20 women and by sight alone know which one you're most likely to have the best shot with.
Right. I can respect that.
My favorite thing that I think my dad ever said was he looked at this guy and he's like, I don't know if he's gay, but I know he'll definitely hold one in his mouth till it got soft. It was so fucking funny. I had to go out there and see what the dogs were barking at.
What were they barking at?
They're fucking each other, speaking of gay.
Oh, they're like prison gay.
Those two motherfuckers.
And it's the little one is taking advantage.
He's trying to establish dominance and he can't do it.
Yeah. That's
Poor Pete.
All right, so how many years in prison do you think it would take before you would start doing some gay stuff?
30 minutes.
I was about to say, I'm all about a comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah.
30 minutes, not no fucking hours, days.
What if you were only in prison for 6 months?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah.
30 minutes.
I stand by that statement. No, I really don't know.
I had a friend of mine that got
I hope the entire time I'm good.
I got a friend of mine when we were younger.
Because I'm not going to act. I'm sorry to
This
keep
is-
interrupting you, but I'm not going to actively fuck somebody, and I'm not going to be like, "Hey, anybody want to put it in my butt?" I'm not doing that either. They're going to have to rape me, is what's going to have to happen. But
And I also wonder,
probably 30 minutes.
I wonder, how many true romances have blossomed in prison, you know?
They keep up a pen pal afterwards. One guy gets out in 10 on good behavior. The other one's still in for 15.
Well, this is probably going to send you into your rant.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rant whenever y'all are.
So a friend of mine gets pulled over.
Okay.
And stone sober as far as drunk. He does the field sobriety test. He passes. And as he's walking to his car, he says, I shouldn't have smoked that blunt. And the cop was like, pardon me? And then so they arrest him. He refuses to take any tests, but they get him for a driving while intoxicated.
Even with no evidence?
Right.
Okay.
I said he should have fought.
Other than his admission of it.
Yeah, but that's like, it wasn't asked of him. It's just as he was walking.
Yeah, and that's like the big thing is like, why the fuck would you say that?
Right, that's
But
what I
anyway.
said. But anyway, so he says that he's gonna. So he goes to the drunk box,
Yeah.
and he's sitting there, and the cop's like, "Is there anything I can get you?" And he just busts out with, "No, because I'll be free in the morning." He just started, and then we all bailed him out.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then, but my point was, so he tells me what the charges are, and I call him, and I'm like, they got you for intoxication. Not, I mean, like with alcohol is what the charge was. And I said, look, I will go buy a gray suit and Matlock this shit because this is hands down.
That dude's going to prison.
I don't think that you have a case to stand on, Your Honor. But
Yeah, because without a breathalyzer and without any kind of testing,
because he told
they
them,
have to
nope.
dismiss the case.
Yeah.
Dismiss the
They
case.
didn't. He paid $10,000 for a DUI, and had that's the thing. So I think that it's a little flawed.
Well, okay, so that brings me to me. I believe that's a
Good segue
Yeah,
into your
segue to
rant
me.
because
So-
I really want to. I know that you've been telling me for the last 2 weeks that today we get to celebrate your freedom, Mel Gibson's freedom.
Okay, so it's not it. All right, I was on, and this is completely harmless. I was on unsupervised probation.
Mm-hmm.
I was charged with simple possession of marijuana, less than 7 grams, and 30 hours community service, $300 fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been told. So, the story behind what happened. Fact of the matter, I got caught smoking a joint at my house by a police officer. I'm guilty. Marijuana's illegal. I'm not trying to dodge that. I want to address that out front first and foremost. What I obey every law with the exception of, I guess, 2, because I've driven high, and I smoke weed. So everything else I abide by except for those 2 things, and I don't fuck with nobody.
But not since he's been on probation.
Not since I was on probation.
He is done.
Correct.
He got caught, and he does no
I
longer
am-
breaks the law.
Today's a beautiful day. So anyway.
He no longer breaks the law.
Yep.
Correct, but today is still a beautiful day because now I can break the law if I want to because it's
What?
I just have to worry about getting caught.
I quit breaking the law.
So, but anyway,
Breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Bump, bump. Breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
why do I feel like I've got, I mean, if I'm gonna pan back over and I really have Beavis and Butthead in here. I mean, look at your hair. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
TP for my bungalow.
So anyway,
So
I wanted to address that out the gate that
you were breaking the law,
I-
and you
I-
accept that.
I've always been a firm believer of if you do the crime, you do the time. And I still believe that because, I mean, I never tried to get out of my fine. I never tried to get out of my community service. I never tried to get out of the fact that when the police showed up at my house, I was smoking a joint, and that is illegal. Now, 9 sheriffs came to my house when I got caught smoking this joint, and I got arrested for that much of a joint. It's all I had here. It was roaches that I rolled up and was smoking,
Yeah.
and that's what I got caught with.
Yeah.
They came here 9 deep looking for meth.
Yeah.
They tased at my dog, and they came back here, and that's what they caught me with. 9 sheriffs showed up at my house, standing back in here pushing on the walls, asking what's behind the plastic. We got to get in the house. We got to get in the house. We know there's dope in there. We know there's dope in there. And they tried to tell me it was all from a fucking a Crime Stoppers call. Somebody smelt marijuana, so they came over here to check it out.
For meth?
No, that's what they were talking about the entire time. But when they didn't find anything, they started backtracking, trying to figure out what the fuck they were going to say. It's what it felt like.
I know you're a little old-fashioned, but dope doesn't mean weed anymore.
No, I know it doesn't mean
Yeah, no,
anymore. No, they were looking for meth.
Right.
I was specifically told they were looking for meth. And that side of the story, what I found out afterwards,
What
I
kind
can't
of
really
narky-ass neighbors do you have?
It's not.
Oh.
There was some of this I can't say
Right.
for
certain.
Legal reasons.
Well, yeah. So, and I can't get into the details of what the finer points of why they were actually here. But my point is they were here. They were looking at my house for a different individual
Right.
by mistake. And they didn't do any fucking research. There's no fucking way they did, because they would have immediately seen that, well, this guy doesn't match the guy that we're looking at, and this guy's record is squeaky fucking clean.
Can I speculate on a few things
Absolutely.
on why
Absolutely.
exactly there were 9 officers here and why they were looking for something that obviously wasn't here?
I can tell you why they were here.
No,
But
no,
go
no.
ahead.
But no, I realize that, you were caught with a little bit of marijuana.
Yeah.
But why there were 9 sheriffs here and why they insisted that there was methamphetamines in the home is because they are currently working on a case where they are trying to do something, investigate some person or something with methamphetamines. And the case is obviously stalled where they don't have anything. But in order to justify resources and time and pay, they now have to add investigation time and warrants and other stuff on that. So 9 officers now got to sign off that they were working this case for this amount of time. And because of that, that case now gets more resources later on.
Can I go ahead and voice that I am the type of person that cigarette smoke and weed smoke I find 10 times less offensive than vapor. If I were to smell that, I would be more
There's some
upset.
fucking strawberry bubble gum in this room, and
Is
god
that
damn it,
you-
I'm dumb.
Okay,
Is that
so
unicorn
with,
jizz?
without too many details, because I got to be careful, because I don't know what I can and can't say.
So basically,
Well,
hang on. I
okay.
got what you're going to say. So basically, he's a victim of having a good heart. That's really all we need to say, is that he had a good heart and believed in somebody, and it bit him in the ass because that was it.
Yeah.
And that was told to me after the
His sh-
fact.
Peter Pan shadow got him in trouble.
Yeah.
And this was told to me after the fact by some individuals with inside knowledge of what was actually going on.
Yeah.
So they get here. It's this fucking production. I mean, the door closed, and I got that maglock on the door, and they couldn't get the door open from the outside, and they were freaking out. It was, I mean, they thought I had the chief, and that was that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He was gone. He's gone. But they were. It was funny.
But it's the same reason you see 4 cars pull over
But-
one car.
Oh, well, so, but no. They weren't here off of a Crime Stoppers tip. They were here investigating the
Right.
individual. Anyway.
In question, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't me, and they didn't. I'm telling you, there's no fuck, and there's no way you can justify the resources. 9 officers,
You're a big guy, John.
5 cars.
You're a big guy with a sunny disposition. That is a danger thing in 2019.
Anyway, so
But yeah, no.
at court, I went to court.
Mhm.
At court, 30 hours community service, $300 fine. I was told that by the judge. I was told that by the attorney. I was told that by the clerk. I was told that 5 days later by the clerk of courts when I was told to call back to make sure of what my total was going to be. And I was told that because I was doing community service and paying the fine, it was going to be 30 hours community service, $300 fine. That was it.
No court costs.
That was it. That's right. That's what I was led to believe on the judge. 4 separate occasions.
But they didn't give you a piece of paper saying that, so now you have to pay more?
No, they give me a piece of paper saying that this is when I have to have this is how many hours community service I have to do. This is when I have to have it completed by. My fine is $300.
Right.
And it says $300 plus court cost. Call 5 days after your court to find out what your total is, which I did. And they told me because I was doing the community service and because I was paying the fine, that was it. Community service, $300, period. That's all it was.
So what's the end game?
$785.50.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Swear to God.
That is fucking... That's a house note.
I called, and today I was like, well, shit, I'm going to go pay it today, so I need to find out, can I take cash? Can I use my credit card? Do I
Yeah.
need to take a money order? What do I need to do? So I called, and they were like, yeah, well, what's your docket number? And I told her, and she was like, yeah, $785.50, money order's fine. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? So, and the thing that upsets me is the lack of transparency.
Yeah.
It's
Because they
at any-
over doubled
at-
what it was.
Yeah, $485 more than what I was originally told. And the thing that bothers the fuck out of me is there are countless amounts of people that I know. 80% of the people that I know out here, they couldn't come up with another $500 on the spot like that. You know what I'm saying? And fortunately for me,
Not
I'm in a
unless they were dealing meth.
well, fortunately for me, I'm in a position where I can. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
we'll brag
I'm
about
not
it.
bragging
I'm just
about it.
kidding.
I'm saying I'm fortunate. I'm one of the fortunate ones.
You manage your money
But
well.
one of the eye-opening things here that took place with me today is if I would have been saving up my money, you know, to pay this off, because that's how I had to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I do have a family, 3 kids and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And if I was in a position where I had to save up money to pay this off, and I'm originally told $300.
Yeah. On
And
4
that's-
separate occasions.
On 4 separate occasions.
You would have been going to
doing the
jail.
exact things that I'm being told to do. On Thursday, I'm going to fucking jail because $485 is out of my grasp, potentially. And what really is boggling is that I'm sitting here and, you know, I hear about all these people that talk about, you know, how corrupt it is and how this, that, and the other
How
is.
unjust the
and
justice
unjust
system?
it is.
Yeah.
And it's a black thing, it's a white thing, it's a whatever thing, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean,
What if it's just a poor thing?
It is.
and that's what I was about to say. It's number one, if they were transparent about it, and I knew $785 is what I was actually going to have to pay, at that point in time, I could, if I have to save up money, now I know what I have to save up by when. It might be a little bit harder, but it's more doable and it's more completable because I know what it is.
Yeah.
If I'm told $300 fucking dollars, that's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's not supposed to be $785 when you get in there on the day of to take care of it.
Well, I had a similar thing when I got pulled over and didn't have a license. I don't remember we talked about with Scooby about even I get nervous with cops.
Right.
Okay, so the cop pulls me over and I pull my wallet out because I've had some issues in the past where they thought, you know, I'm a big guy. But in the process of doing it, I set it on the edge of the seat. It went and it fell down to where I couldn't see it. Well, you can't go moving around and digging for shit. And so, like, I start freaking out. So he writes me a ticket for not having my license. I find my license before he leaves. And he said, well, you didn't have it when I asked you for it.
Come on.
So $385 is the cost of the ticket. I go to pay it, and then they added on, what, I think $65 for court cost, and I didn't even go to fucking court.
So
That's so somebody can read it and go, this guy already paid his fine, $65. That's what what I'm saying is, it's if you decide, look, okay, you got me. And they tell you this is what it's going to be, because they do tell you 5 days after your ticket, whatever, you call them and they say, okay, bring this amount of money. And then they hit you with more when you get there. That's fucking bullshit.
it is complete bullshit. And the thing, the process that went through my brain.
How many
was,
Christmases did you just pay for to show up at your house? Sorry, that's probably the wrong mentality.
It's not, though, because look, the thing is, I happen to be able to do it. I happened to be able to do it, and it did not hurt me. It was fuck. Okay, are you serious? Okay, here we go. I'm in a position now in my life where I can. 2 years ago, I'd be mom. You know what I mean?
Johnny, we were at Hobby Lobby the other day, me and Beth, and she's wanting to do some kind of crafty shit for Christmas. When that woman said $192, my fucking balls dropped. Well, they went in my body and flew out my ass. Do you understand me?
Right.
And like, I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's one of those times where I agree with you, but I mean, it's not clear cut. And the thing is they're not going to give you a piece of paper. They're not going to give you that, like, say it were to happen again. They're not going to give it saying this is guaranteed $300, because otherwise you can't get these miscellaneous charges. I think they had a lawsuit with AT&T because AT&T had like these massive amount of like miscellaneous charges on everybody's bill,
Right.
mine included. So I called them. I'm like, what are all these fucking miscellaneous charges? Well, sir, they're only 49 cents. Yeah, 49 cents times fucking 50. Now I've got to, you know what I'm saying? What are they? What are they for? Oh, well, they're service charge. No, they're not. Because you go to my house and you couldn't make a phone call with AT&T if you wanted to.
Right.
And then you ask them, hey, well, oh, that tower's been down for 2 years. Well, where the fuck are my service charges going?
Yeah, if
You
not
know?
for the service on the tower.
Right.
And I'm just saying it's not just the judicial system. It's everything has these stupid fucking charges.
Well, but the thing with like if you take it to cell phones, I can just say, you know what, fuck that shit, and throw that shit in the garbage.
But you can't
and not
throw
worry
the
about it. But you can't throw the fucking judicial system in the fucking
Yeah,
trash.
because the thing is that the penalty for not paying your cell phone bill is now you don't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
The penalty for that is now they can throw you in jail, which is also failure to pay now resulting in you being in jail is a thoroughly flawed concept.
Correct.
It's entirely criminalization of poverty. They've criminalized poverty as a whole to where now just you not having a shitload of cash on you ready to go at any time. Because here's the dirty little secret that we all seem to be ignoring all the time but don't really talk about, is that we're all breaking the law all the time, constantly. Have you fucking seen Louisiana drivers?
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, the day before my wedding, okay, I got caught up in everything, and I had a crack on my windshield, okay? Haven't got an inspection sticker. I'm driving to work the day before my wedding, or the day before my off day, before my wedding, okay? I make eye contact with the cop. As we're driving, I'm like, oh, fuck, he's going to pull me over.
Here it comes.
You know, here it comes. Now, the funny thing is two cars are drag racing across the skating rink parking lot, burning rubber, smoking tires in the same parking lot he's pulling me over. But I'm the easy fucking pullover.
Right.
So you get to let these two heathens go and try to kill somebody.
Or he goes and gets them too after he gets done.
He
with you.
didn't. He didn't. What he did with me is he comes up, and I hate a smug fucking... look, if you're going to cost me money, you're going to cost... Who has the money? Honestly, I didn't have the money to go get a new windshield.
Yeah.
And I don't... And I didn't go, oh, well, I'm going to just fuck the system and just go get somebody to slap a sticker on it. The funny thing was, I talked to my buddy about changing my windshield. Anyway, he looks at me, and his exact words, and I quote, were, well, what's the matter? You didn't have the money to change that? I'm like, no, just like I don't have the money to change this, pay for this ticket. Now, back in the day, it used to be a fix-it ticket. You got 30 days, you go get you a sticker. Guess
Right.
what? And get you a windshield.
Correct.
It's inspected by a police officer, and they go, good, he did right, and they throw it out.
Correct.
It's not a fix-it ticket anymore. $165 fucking down the shitter.
And look, the thing is, I mean, like he was saying, when you have a system that does this, what sucks is I'm 38 years old. I've heard people talk about it a billion times, and the realization of it is
You were blind to it until it affected you personally.
well, and it didn't even.
No,
I mean,
that does affect
It does
you.
affect me, but it affected me by opening my eyes. You know what I mean?
Right, but
Because
I mean-
if this was 30-year-old Johnny, I'd be going to jail on Tuesday or on Thursday, and then what happens? I lose my job, and then
See, I'm one of
if I
those.
come out with a record and I can't get another job, does my wife leave me and now I got child support? I can't pay that. Do I go back to jail? How do I pay for all this shit? Like, it seems, like you said, it's a fucked up way that you criminalize poverty. And I don't, it's
the fact that the criminalization of poverty, and I'm going to get fucking real preachy real quick.
that's fine.
It's the fact that the criminalization of poverty is now tied in with private prison systems that are profiting off the criminalization of poverty,
Right.
and are basically putting this huge block of people, fucking over 1% of our population is in prison right now, more than any other country in the world per capita. And you're basically, then you're selling their prison labor. They're not getting money for it. You're selling their prison labor out for
And
fucking
you're not
pennies on
taxing
the,
it.
and you're not taxing it. So you're fucking cleaning up and basically building an entire industry off modern day slavery.
I mean, that's why they're fighting like marijuana so bad in Louisiana.
Right.
Because they have jailed so many fucking people.
Right. The decriminalization of marijuana alone would be a big thing.
Right, but what I'm saying is that alone, you are killing so much of the workforce. And you have these dumb kids that, like, I mean, what was it? Ron White had something similar where he had like 7/8 of a gram of weed.
Right.
And he's like, that is no weed.
I had less than that.
But that's what I'm saying is it's just, it does.
Hold on a sec. If I wish I could make this make sense to you.
I know how much you had it.
Here's a cigarette, right?
That you weren't smoking.
Well, it's just a cigarette butt. So
That much.
that much is what they put in an
A half
evidence
inch.
bag.
A half inch.
That was the roach of roaches.
Right.
Okay. And then if you the little bit of ash that you see on the table. Have you ever thrown something, even if you've ever bought weed, have you ever thrown, like, going to throw weed in a cellophane and you throw that first little pinch in there or whatever and it just sticks to the side because of the static electricity? That's how much weed they took away from here, loose weed.
I thought they had like a minimum possession thing in Louisiana.
I think they were embarrassed and had to justify the fact that they were here.
No, I was looking it up when a friend of mine got pulled over. I think it's like there's a minimum.
There,
Let me tell
You
right
have
now,
to
I
have
think
a
they were
certain amount before they're like, oh, you're a fucking bastard.
yeah, yes.
If I
and
qualify,
no.
that's embarrassing to the state.
Yes and no.
Well, there's a lot of things that are, but what I'm saying is what he's saying with the private institutions. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, like, I've heard these horror stories. Like, 'cause when I was younger, I had a cousin that was married to a guy, right? And he was a prison guard. And he's like, Glenn, I'll get you on. It'll be great. Da, 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 da. And then he talked to me about how shitty they were. Like, oh, you could just punch him in the fucking throat and shit. Like, and I'm just like, it's not for me. That's not.
Because it's not just, it's now when you put somebody in prison, the way that the prison system works here, you're now dehumanizing them.
Right.
Because you've now conditioned these men and women to think you are not human. You're not human for these 6 years. Because you did this one thing wrong, now your humanity has been stripped away. And this is just what you are now.
Now, with certain people like murderers and rapists, I'm all about taking their humanity away.
Absolutely. But those are people that are never getting out of prison.
Right.
Those are
Right.
people that are in supermax
Not
for
if-
life.
not if I was president.
You got a kid that gets popped with a quarter bag on his way
Yeah.
home from work.
And that
And-
kid is in there with
and
murderers
and he
and
goes
rapists.
to jail because he does his community service, goes downtown, finds out he has $485 more fucking dollars, and gets put.
And
in
he's
fucking
working
jail.
at fucking Sonic for
and he gets put in
$6 an
fucking
hour.
jail for however goddamn long he gets put in jail for, or has to try to bond out, and he loses his job, and then next thing you fucking know,
How old
this-
are you? You're 38.
I'm 38. Next thing you know, this fucking
31.
kid has been in
31.
prison for fucking, a month over some bullshit, and he's gotten his ass beat, and he comes out with a fucking a glaze about him, can't get a fucking job, can't do this. Next thing you know, he's fucking, fucking off trying to do
Still
something.
paying off court costs and
then
state
gets
fees.
fucking tossed back in jail for fucking doing something stupid because he was at the end of his fucking rope.
Yeah.
Like,
But at the same
come
time, you
on.
got this little fucking kid running around my neighborhood. He's been to jail 4 fucking times.
Right.
Strung out on dope. Okay? Now, instead of I understand that we can't help everybody. I get that. And he's got to want to help himself. But obviously jail's not fucking doing it.
Well, but I mean,
That's because jail doesn't rehabilitate anybody.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is there is no rehabilitation process for like a meth addict.
No.
And that's what I'm saying is marijuana, the guy's not fucking you up.
Mhm.
He's not beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? This guy stole from my house. He shows up at weird hours. You know what I'm saying?
But what caused him to get to the point where he put that pipe to his fucking lips and smoked that meth?
Well, the God's honest truth
that's
is,
what I. That's the question that.
well, the beautiful part about him is he has lucid moments. And unfortunately, my mother had a history of abuse of narcotics. And so he was messaging me, and I told him, I'm like, look, dude, you're not welcome at my house. And he was telling me about, and basically he was poor. His whole family, they live in a fucking shotgun house in the middle of Keithville in the bottoms where it floods every fucking time. He doesn't have anything.
Right.
But at the same time, he doesn't have any drive to go work for it because he was raised in an environment where it's all not given, but it comes along, and that's just all. It's a trained thing. He never broke the mold. He never got above it.
But the thing is, if the first time he went to prison, if it had been a proper rehabilitation system, he could have learned those skills. They could have taught him something. They could have tried to reintroduce him into the workforce and like given him a sense of being in forward path. But they don't do that. They rob you of your humanity and just say, you're now always going to be a piece of shit because you've been to prison.
Just-
Because
see
I
that.
want to turn a profit.
But did y'all see that on a brighter note, real quick? Did you see that high school that made a body shop? Like in like one of their old gym buildings, they created a body shop where they can teach people a fucking trade.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's a big deal right now.
And that's what I'm saying is if you have the
country short electricians like a motherfucker.
Well, right,
apparently.
and that's the thing is like my stepdad, I love him to death. He's an ex-con, he got in a little trouble, and he learned AC. work.
Yeah.
Okay? Has a hard as hell time getting a job with a legitimate company because of his record.
Right.
So he does it by himself. He runs his own shit. But, you know, if you don't have that, running your own business fucking sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay?
It all comes from you.
Right. So, I mean, if you have the drive to go get a job, but you can't get a job, you know what I'm saying? Because, we're not hiring any ex-cons. You know, and he's the nicest human being, but it was just like, you know, similar. He got caught with some shit he shouldn't have had.
Right.
And I mean, I think that's so fucking dumb, because some of the people that I know that have been caught with just littlest of weed are some of the nicest, just they're honest people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the main problem, especially with people that get caught with stuff like weed or anything else. You are now elevating these people on the same level as a danger to society.
Right.
You're treating them the same way as you would treat an arsonist, a murderer, a rapist. Like, you're elevating them and putting them through the same process as you would somebody that has committed a legitimate crime that harms people. You're now taking these people that are legitimately doing nothing that harms people,
But themselves, if even that.
if even that, and you're now like, oh no, you are on the same level of crime as all of this.
Again, it's a money thing. So
It's a money thing and it's a political thing.
Which brings me to my next question is, what can be done about it? Say if somebody realistically wanted to do something.
Give ex-cons the right to vote.
Say I wanted to do something. Is running for city council.
Would you say that not giving non-violent offenders the right to vote
Yeah,
is what you're saying?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, not just any old...
I thought you could get your right to vote back even if you were a felon.
If you have money.
You could appeal
If you have
for it.
money.
Oh, is it? Okay. I've never...
It's just enough cost to where people living paycheck to paycheck can't do it.
Right.
And like I said, with voter apathy where it is, it's not a very
Well, like Louisiana, if you would have gotten caught 3 times, it's a felony and you're in jail for the rest of your life.
I think 3 strikes comes with 3 felonies.
And this is a misdemeanor. 3 counts of three misdemeanors. They hit you with the lifetime felony.
No, it should be. You might have a felony after 3 misdemeanors,
right?
But you don't go to prison for life.
Oh no,
I think
that's
it's 3
right
felonies
before they started decriminalizing crap. It was.
Well, how does that guy that go to jail fucking 4 times and not be locked up forever?
Because they started decriminalizing some of the shit. That's what I'm telling you. Because he hasn't been caught actually with anything.
Well, it's also the fact that a lot of times with prison overcrowding, they sometimes just like let people out.
But no, what I'm
Right.
saying is Louisiana for the longest time had the strictest weed laws in the entire fucking country. Like, they were the strictest about it. You're going to hell. You're going to Angola. You're going to get to be a fucking rodeo clown.
Speaking of that, a kid that was in court with me that day, unless I misunderstood it, which I possibly misunderstood it, he ended up doing a year mandatory for having simple possession. I don't know what number it was for him, if it was like number 19 or number 2 or number 1, but I mean,
But how much money are we? How much
motherfucker.
money are we wasting on simple possession of marijuana?
I mean, to me, I don't think they made any money off of me because I paid a total of $785.50. Right?
No, they made
Hold on.
$485
They
on
didn't
you.
because there was a judge, there was a bailiff, there was electricity, there was 9 motherfucking sheriffs.
Am I not mistaken that the sheriffs and the judges are all paid by state tax anyway?
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is there's no way that they turned a profit on coming to this
They did.
house.
They did.
I mean,
They're all paid an hourly wage.
I see what you're saying
and a
because I
salary
already
from our
paid
pockets, right.
the taxes.
And now
Yeah,
you-
you paid
yeah.
the taxes
Fair
on top of
Fair
paying that
enough,
fine.
yeah.
So
Right.
they turned a profit.
I got you. Okay.
That's what
I'll
we're
follow it.
saying is, yeah.
And heaven forbid you get into a situation with civil forfeiture where they can just take your shit. They can literally just take your objects.
Oh, this shit would be on fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the coarse
Take my
thing.
homeowner's insurance, bitch.
Yeah.
Eat a dick.
Because that's the coarest thing is the fact that, like, so yeah, as far as like things that can be done
Yes.
to help solve this, giving non-violent criminals the right to vote. So that way they're a voter block now, and you have to actually appeal to them, because that's the group that in order to appeal to them as a politician, you'd have to talk about justice reform. That's something very minimal that you could do. There are a lot of organizations. The second thing that you could do if you felt very strongly about it, there are a lot of free legal aid clinics that exist, and you could support those with either volunteer work or money or like whatever you happen to have available at the time. And funny enough, if you felt really, really strongly and you just had a shitload of free time, you can actually go to those legal aid clinics, not passing a state bar, but they will give you clinics and classes, and for certain things, you can go and represent people.
Really?
Yeah, because you can operate off of their license, and you don't have to pass a state bar. You only have to pass a state bar if you take money for representing people.
Gotcha.
You can represent people for free, and then...
So me and you need to get Matlock suits.
Does it have to be that light blue?
Yeah.
How about you do Matlock, I do Perry Mason?
Hell yeah, I'm down.
I remember Perry Mason. I love Perry Mason.
And then the two other things you
Perry
can do
Mason always
are
got-
obviously get involved in selection of elected judges, district attorneys, prosecutors. Like, you get involved on the city and state level of that, and like actually vet these people. You know, get involved politically, really question, stir up shit if you feel like they're putting the wrong person in there. And then the final thing you can do is really just tell people the shit that you went through and just try and raise public awareness. Because it's not true to somebody until something personally happens to them, or
Right,
something
and it's-
personally happens to somebody they know.
And it's one of those things where, like, I've heard people bitch and complain about it, and I've always been like, man, look, you know why I don't get nervous around cops is because I'm fully committed to fucking take my charge. Like, those cops came in, I didn't try to run, I didn't freak out, I didn't.
Oh no!
try
Like
to
when
fight
I
nothing.
get pulled
It's-
over, I'm the
but
same way.
I get it, but if you'd have been here where the cops were here, you would have been like, is this motherfucker really like this? Because that's how it was with the guy that was here. You know, is he really fucking laughing and joking with these cops that are in here at his fucking house? I understand. I do what I do, and it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? I was willing to take that responsibility. And that's one thing I've always said is personal responsibility flies out the fucking window with a lot of people. And it still does. I still believe that. But at the end of the day, if somebody is trying to do the right thing and say turn their situation around, the situation that I encountered today is
the complete opposite.
it's not going to be helpful, and I don't see how that's beneficial to anybody other than a broken court system.
See, the way that you can prove this at a person level, and I think me and you did it one night, is if you want to see how people at our level, you know, and money-wise, feel about money and financials and everything, play fucking Monopoly.
And
And
just
you
watch how they do it.
and watch how people spend money and how they allocate money. And there's always going to be that asshole, and I'm typically that guy, that buys up everything.
Right.
And then when you need a loan, I'm your guy. But it's the only time that you'll ever find me in a profit system where you break the rules. But my thing is watch how people play Monopoly. Watch how they spend funds. Do they build houses on their little property? Do they do anything to make their shit better? Or do they accept the fact that they're doing just good enough to survive, and they will hold on to that game for 6 fucking hours because they've got...
I'll go bankrupt in a minute. If I
No.
have to.
But that's what I'm saying is there's some people that just will change their... You don't see that side of them. You don't see that money side of them. And I think that's honestly why like Monopoly stirs the most outrage.
Yeah.
Is because now you get to see the true color of your friends. The true color of how people are, because money, and I don't mean to sound biblical, I really don't, but it says it plain and simple, money is the root of all evil.
Money isn't the root of all evil. Money is it's strangely enough, money is an abstract concept, because the actual worth of the fucking, not even paper dollars in your wallet, of the ones and zeros that are in your bank account don't have any actual money.
Right.
So, like, it doesn't have actual worth. We've just all decided that it does.
Right.
Because we needed to have a society that functions. So, money is an abstract concept. It's what people do when they have the power that money gives them that is the true evil.
Right, but the root of that is the actual money.
No, the root of that is power.
Right.
Because you can have power
Fueled
without...
by the money. You cannot have
Well, but if you're going on what he's saying about money being
fictitious.
Yeah.
then you're both right.
Yeah, we are both right.
Yeah.
But almost always we're both right.
Yeah.
All right.
Bam.
But
I guess we need to stop this so they can blow each other. So
Yeah.
we can't put that on YouTube.
Well, no, I mean, what we
that's why we have the mattress back
Honestly, if we want to behind the scenes, because David is a talker,
behind
we
your
could,
jeans.
Yeah, we could be like, hey, guys, this episode's been real fun. We've hit our hour mark. Get ready for the part 2. You know, part 2. We can and just stop it and then record part 2.
Part ew.
But ew.
Well, hey, how about this? Because we are hitting that mark. So you got any shows coming up?
Not until 2020. Because I just did my the Christmas party for ProSphere.
You're not going to do the open mic on the 16th?
Oh,
Bears?
I don't think I'm allowed back at that
I thought
one
you
yet.
said you couldn't.
I thought
do it
you
yet.
said. I thought you said you showed up the day after.
He couldn't do comedy though.
I couldn't do comedy. I can
He
still
can-
go
he
in
can
there.
go, but
Oh,
I
can't do
so
comedy.
so you're on the club with Glenn.
Mhm.
Of you had to do your mandatory 3
Your
show
probation.
miss.
Are they
Oh.
gonna fine you and up it as soon as you walk in the door?
No, it was one of those.
Turns
things
out it was $485 more than I thought.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
But no, I could go on for hours about how
What
like
about Barcord tomorrow?
yeah, no, I'll probably hit that up because again I'm
I
working on.
might be. I don't know.
Well, the thing is if y'all listen to this, y'all come out to Barcord. It's a beautiful little room
Every Tuesday.
every Tuesday.
And it's a lot of fun, and everybody that goes there has a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just come expecting an open mic comedy, a very light atmosphere.
Well,
would
you
say?
gotta know what you gotta do with open mic is simple. It's not a light atmosphere if there's 3 people and they don't have a fucking clue. But open mic comedy is a chance for your seasoned veterans or your anybody's testing new material or just getting the bravery to get up there and do what 90% of the population can't do, and that's fight the public speaking. And the thing is I was actually, last week you missed it. I was like the mean, grumpy dad of fucking comedy because it pissed me off. I cannot stand, do not quit picking on people that just aren't great the first fucking time they go up.
Yeah.
Like, we get it, but sometimes it's just a fucking...
It's hard to overcome it.
It's a lack of fucking confidence. And, some people have to really work hard. And even if you're talking in front of one person, that could be like 1 million people. You can, and I'll give you a little thing that you can see. If you ever see me do a big show, it happens to me every time. My left leg twitches when I'm in the middle of, like, really hitting my stride on stage.
A little nervous twitch, yeah.
Yeah, it happens every time. David can see it. It'll start
It's
quicking.
the adrenaline. It gets in
So
your
I'll
system.
have to adjust, and that's when you'll see me. I'll lean to the right because this leg will start shaking me out of fucking control. And you know what I honestly think it is? It is my body telling me to fucking run.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, it's like, get out of here. Anyway, good news, guys. Monroe has officially booked me for January 10th.
Hell yeah.
And they're going to talk about January 24th is in
Hell
the
yeah.
works. And then they're talking about a Rustin show. So 2020 is going to be a good year for my comedy wife and my new comedy roadie.
Fuck yeah.
And,
Hell yeah.
So basically, like I said, we'll be learning some negotiation tactics as far as me and David. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and David have literally driven 3 hours to split $60. It's enough for Waffle House and the gas to get us there.
I didn't charge y'all for gas on that.
No, you did, and everybody tried to pay you gas.
I didn't want it.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing.
Your money's no good here.
Yeah, don't
it's
sweat it.
puka
It's all
shells.
good.
It's puka shells.
Puka shells.
That
Alright.
should be on my podcast T-shirt. It's puka shells.
It's puka shells.
Anyway, but other than
Alright.
that, like, subscribe, get on those notifications, comment that you like. If David said something that really stirred you in a place, even especially in your groins, if he stirred you in a special place, by all means let us know, and we'll keep having him back. Of course, I know Johnny stirs disgust, and I I disgust the world.
And one more thing, just because we talked about it, do some research, find out your local legal aid centers. Definitely support them 100%.
Yeah, and I can't agree with that more now than ever before. And I do have to say one more thing. I have a show on the 13th at the Port Grill, you fucking asshole. I'll let you give your shout-outs, and then you cut me off by giving the end. You ended on me?
This has been my podcast, His Man Cave. You can go ahead and stop recording.
You small.
You small motherfucker.
What are y'all saying? What are y'all
We'll
saying?
tell you in another podcast.
Yep.
No. We've talked about
No.
You
Trust me.
yeah, next
Give 'em
podcast.
One more time. Do it again.
You
You
small.
small. Okay. Now that the